AITA, if I don't want to share the inheritance my dad left me with my stepmom, I'm looking for some advice on a complicated and emotionally charged situation. My dad passed away a few months ago, and I inherited a substantial investment portfolio from him. This portfolio consists entirely of shares from the company where he worked throughout my upbringing. For some background, my mom passed away unexpectedly in 2012. After her death, my dad eventually remarried in 2021. Now, as we navigate the probate process, I've come to realize that my dad left behind a significant amount of debt. This debt was accrued largely from extravagant spending, including taking numerous vacations each year with my stepmom. The complication arises because my dad never updated his will after remarrying. According to his will, everything he had was left to me. However, in our state, the law entitles my stepmom to 30% of his estate, regardless of what the will specifies. She has already received the house they shared and their joint checking account. The investment portfolio I inherited was passed directly to me by operation of law and is not subject to probate. However, I've learned that my stepmom can apply for an elective share of this portfolio within 6 months of my dad's passing. This elective share is a legal right that allows her to claim a portion of the estate that she would have been entitled to if my dad had not made a will. I'm struggling with this situation. My stepmom was not involved in my dad's professional life or the accumulation of these shares. My dad spent over 60 years working hard to build up this investment portfolio. It feels deeply unfair that my stepmom, who entered the picture only 5 years ago, might now claim a share of what I believe my dad intended for me. Emotionally, this feels like a betrayal of my dad's intentions and his hard work. It also feels as though my stepmom is benefiting from my dad's work without having contributed to it. I understand that the law may entitle her to a portion of the estate, but I'm struggling to accept that she could claim part of something that seems so clearly intended for me. I'm considering sitting down with her to explain how I feel and why I believe that the inheritance was meant solely for me. I want to be clear that I'm not trying to be unfair or unkind, but rather to communicate my feelings about what my dad left behind and how I perceive his intentions. Given these circumstances, am I being unreasonable for wanting to keep the inheritance to myself and not share it with my stepmom? I'd appreciate any insights or advice on how to handle this situation, both legally and emotionally.